Alright, everyone, today we're diving into the wild, lawless world of pirates in the BattleTech universe. These aren't just random bandits hopping around in stolen dropships, they're a persistent, chaotic force that's been kicking around since the Reunification War, thriving in the cracks of the Periphery and Chaos March where nobody else wants to go. We're going deep here, really deep, covering their history from the ground up, how they organize and fight, the insane custom tech they've cooked up, the leaders who turn them into legends, and why they just won't die out no matter what gets thrown at them. This is a full-on lore dive, probably the most detailed look at BattleTech pirates you'll find on YouTube. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's jump into the void. Let's start with the history, because to understand pirates in BattleTech, you've got to go way back to where it all begins, the Reunification War, 2571 to 2597. This is when the Star League decides it's time to bring the Periphery under control, and not everyone's thrilled about it. You've got resistance fighters, folks who don't want to bow to Terra, plus colonists who've been out there scraping by, and even some military units that get cut off or go AWOL when the fighting gets thick. They start hitting supply lines, raiding Star League convoys just to eat. It's not organized piracy yet, more like desperate survival. But it plants the seed. Take the Belt Pirates, for example, they trace their roots to this era, a mix of refugees and rebels who end up hiding out in asteroid belts after the war, scavenging whatever they can find. They're small time, sure, but they're tough, and they set the stage for what's coming. Now, fast forward a couple centuries, and the Star League's golden age is over. It collapses in 2781, and the succession wars kick off total chaos across the inner sphere and beyond. The Rim World's Republic, one of the big periphery powers, falls apart, the great houses are slugging it out over who gets to sit on the throne, and the periphery turns into this giant no-man's land where the rules don't apply. This is when piracy really takes off, because all that disorder is like a buffet for outlaws. You start seeing Bandit Kingdoms pop up small, independent states, maybe one system or a handful, ruled by despots who live off raiding their neighbors. The Tortuga Dominions are a prime example. They get going around this time on Tortuga Prime, a world that's basically a pirate paradise. Major Frederick Krasny Koloniv takes charge in 2589, turning it into a base for raiders hitting anyone dumb enough to come close. It's not just a hideout, it's the start of something bigger, a kingdom that's going to stick around for centuries. Another one to watch is the Cercinus Federation, though it doesn't really get rolling until later. By 2990, C.J. McIntyres shows up, starts colonizing worlds near the Lyran Commonwealth border, and builds it into a pirate state with some real structure. But back in the Succession Wars, you've got others too, like the Oberon Confederation and the Marian Hegemony, which start as bandit outfits and grow into powers that the inner sphere eventually has to take seriously. The Oberon Confederation, for instance, gets big enough that it's almost a legit nation by the 31st century, raiding and trading its way to influence. The Marian Hegemony goes even further, conquering places like the Illyrian Palatinate and Lothian League later on, turning pirate roots into something resembling a real government. These aren't just gangs anymore, they're replayers, and they're here to stay. Let's jump to the 31st century, because that's when things get really interesting. The clan invasion hits in 3049, and it's a game changer. The clans come roaring in from beyond the periphery, and they don't mess around. Groups like the Oberon Confederation get smashed to bits by Clan Wolf and Clan Jade Falcon. But for every pirate band that goes down, another finds a way to adapt. The Chaos March, that messy border zone between the great houses, becomes a pirate playground because nobody's got a firm grip on it. Smaller outfits like the ones Vance Rezak would later lead start picking off stragglers and scavenging clan tech when they can. It's a brutal time, but it's also an opportunity if you're clever enough to dodge the clan war machine. Then comes the Jihad, 3067 to 3081, and it's like someone flipped the galaxy upside down. The word of Blake goes nuts, and the periphery feels it hard. The Cercinus Federation, under Calvin McIntyre by this point, gets caught up in the mess, they're even producing stuff like the Firestarter FS9-P, which we'll talk about later. But by 3081, Regulan forces roll in and burn their capital to the ground, ending a nearly century-long run. You'd think that'd be it, right? Nope. New bandit kingdoms sprout up in the wreckage like the Rim territories and the Barons, built on worlds the Lyran Commonwealth and Clan Hell's horses abandon after the fighting. The Tortuga dominions keep chugging along too. Swapping leaders but never quite dying out. Pirates don't just weather these storms, they use them to grow. Let's break down how these groups actually function, because it's not as simple as jumping a merchant ship and calling it a day. Most pirate bands stick to a company size, 12 to 36 units, usually BattleMechs with hands so they can grab loot and run. The Tortuga Fusiliers are a great example based out of the Dominions. They're a lean, mean raiding machine, hitting targets and disappearing before anyone can hit back. Bigger groups, like Vance Rezak's Band of the Damned, can swell past a battalion 3 to 5 companies, maybe 36 to 60 units, but that's rare. Feeding that many people, keeping that many mechs running, and finding enough spare parts when you're living off what you steal. That's a logistical nightmare. Most pirates don't have the resources or the patience for it, so they keep it small and mobile. Aerospace is where they shine. Elite pilots, guys who've survived more dogfights than they can count, fly high-thrust fighters, fast and agile, leading green recruits who are still figuring out which end of the cockpit to sit in. They need at least 2 dropships, one to carry the crew and their mechs, another to haul whatever they steal. The Leopard PA, which we'll get into, is a pirate favorite because it's tough and versatile. Junk ships are the real prize, though without a skilled navigator, you're stuck in system, and that's a death sentence when the authorities or a rival band show up. The 237th Light Cavalry Regiment, a pirate unit with Star League roots, probably deserters who went rogue after the fall, relied on that kind of mobility to stay one step ahead of the law. They'd hit a target, load up, and jump out before anyone knew what happened. Tactics are all about cheating and surviving. Pirates run lean crews, multi-talented types who can pilot a mech, shoot a gun, and patch up a busted fusion engine all in the same day. They fake radio chatter to sound like a bigger force, disguise themselves as house units to bluff their way past defenses, or just blow something up to scare their targets into surrendering without a fight. The S7-P Scarab bus, which we'll cover soon, is a perfect example of that. Trickery looks harmless until it's too late. Back at their bases like Tortuga Prime or Rezak's hold, they've got vehicles and infantry for defense. The Demolisher's an 80-ton tank with twin autocannons, slow but devastating if you're trying to storm their turf. The Hunter's lighter, 35 tons, with an LRM-20 for long-range support, great for holding a perimeter. Infantry's usually just there to guard the loot, but they've got specialists, demolition experts to crack vaults, assassins to take out key targets when the job calls for it. It's a scrappy, chaotic way to fight, but it's kept them alive for centuries. Now, let's dig into their tech, because this is where pirates get really creative and dangerous. They don't have factories or RD budgets, they steal what they can, scavenge what's left, and kit bash it into something nasty. The Brigand BattleMech is the poster child for this. First rolled out in 3065 by Vengeance Incorporated, a pirate outfit run by Lady Death, Trevaline out of the Haven Star Cluster. It's a 25-ton light mech that's pure controversy. Why? It's the first mech built by pirates that's actually advanced, not just some junk heap. It's got a contraband endo steel chassis stolen or black market and a GM150 fusion engine pushing 97.2 km per hour, plus 6 contraband jump jets for 180-meter hops. 4 tons of Haven-sent armor, the only part they make locally, mostly up front, less than half a ton in the rear, supposedly Trevaline's order to keep her pilots from running. Armaments: 2 ER medium lasers in the arms and 2 medium pulse lasers in the torsos, all cooled by 10 double heat sinks. Battle value 771. It's all lasers, so they don't need ammo resupply, just hit and go. Before the Jihad, these were tearing up the Taurian Concordat, used by Rezak's band, the Tortuga Fusiliers, Shanesi Tion, and the Marcadia brothers. The word of Blake saw the potential, hooked Vengeance up with resources during the Jihad, and that led to variants. In 3076, the Filtveld coalition raided Tortuga Prime and stumbled on 5 crazy prototype stuff that fed into the LDT-5 later. Variants. The LDT-X1 from 3066 swaps pulse lasers for 4 medium lasers, battle value 937, more firepower, less precision. LDT-X2, also 3066, goes for 4 rocket launcher 15S, huge punch for 1 shot, battle value 764. LDT-X3 from 3075 has arm-mounted light PPCs from a Taurian raid and torso flommers that fell off a dropship, plus an XL engine, battle value 695. LDT-X4 from 3078 uses a light engine, 3 ER medium lasers, a light PPC, and triple-strength Myanmar for 110 km/h bursts, battle value 1038. LDT-5, seen in 3083 on Lackland, hits 111 km/h with an Omni 175 XL engine, 5.5 tons of armor, 3 medium lasers, a mace, and 7 jump jets for 210 meters, battle value 762. Those prototypes. XPR-1 with X-pulse lasers and an SRM-4, XPR-2 with 5 medium lasers and an Angel ECM suite, XPR-3 with 4 medium lasers and a mace, XPR-4 with improved jump jets, XPR-5 with 8 jump jets and a composite structural ranging from 723 to 956 battle value. It's got a nimble jumper quirk, too fast and tricky. The Firestarter FS9-P is another pirate standout, built by the Cercinus Federation in 3064. It's a tweak on the FS9S model, but they strip out the defensive and scouting gear stuff like sensors and extra armor and cut half a ton of armor to make room for 10 double heat sinks. That keeps it cool under pressure. Offensively, it keeps the classic flommers, 2 of them, 1 per arm, but adds an extra small laser and 2 SRM-2 launchers, usually loaded with Inferno rounds. Those Infernos are brutal. They spew incendiary gel that sets everything ablaze, perfect for torching infantry, vehicles, or even overheating enemy mechs. Battle values 775. This isn't a mech for long, drawn-out battles, it's a hit-and-run arsonist. The Cercinus Federation, especially under the McIntyres, loved these for quick raids, rushing in to burn down defenses or panic garrisons, then slipping away before anyone could organize a counterattack. That Inferno loadout made it a nightmare for anyone without heat-resistant gear, and it fit their style: fast, dirty, and devastating. The Leopard PA dropship's a pirate custom job, first seen in 3075 over Repulse. This thing's an Assault Beast 5 ERPPCS with capacitors in the nose, giving it a massive punch, backed by an LRM-20 with Artemis 4 for accuracy and 2 small pulse lasers for close work. Each broadside and the aft have 2 binary laser cannons, high-energy stuff, and it's got extra LRM-20s on the sides, plus 4 medium pulse lasers aft for defense. It's armored with 38 tons of ferroaluminum, heaviest up front, and keeps its standard fighter bays while adding 2 small craft bays for battle taxis, fast assault boats, and infantry bays for 4 platoons of jump troops. Battle values 6,220. It's built to crash a fight. Unload its troops, grab what it can, and get out. The S7-P Scarab bus is straight up sneaky. It's a refitted S7A from the Jihad era, designed to look like a harmless civilian transport on the outside, same hull, same markings. Pirates picked up this trick from the word of Blake's Q ships, dock with a target claiming distress, maybe a fake SOS about engine failure or pirates attacking. Ironic, right? Then bam, it's got a platoon of jump infantry ready to board and a 10-ton booby trap wired to blow if the crew doesn't surrender. Battle values 412. It's not about slugging it out, it's about catching you with your pants down. The Anher P Stealth Doll's a clan hunting special. 2 Dark Caste members, outcasts from Clan Society, built this thing, mixing inner sphere tech like vehicle stealth armor and a Guardian ECM suite with Clan LRM-15s, just 1 ton of ammo. Cargo's cut to 5.5 tons, but that stealth makes it worth it. Battle value 930. It's a ghost ship, buzzing clan outposts, dropping missiles, and vanishing before they can lock on. Vance Rezak's Buccaneer, the Red Raider, is a floating fortress. 5 large lasers, 2 PPCs, and 2 LRM-15s in the no serious firepower. Each wing's got 3 large lasers and 2 Gauss rifles long-range punch. Aft, it's got 3 medium lasers and a Streak SRM-6 for close defense. It can haul 1,509 tons of cargo, perfect for Rezak's big hauls. No battle value listed, but you can imagine it's sky high. This was his flagship, a symbol of his wealth and power. They've got ground gear too. The Demolisher's an 80-ton tank with twin AC/20s, slow as dirt but devastating up close, great for guarding a base. The Hunter's 35 tons with an LRM-20 light, mobile, good for support fire. The Vedette's a 50-ton workhorse with an AC/5, nothing fancy, but pirates love it because it's everywhere and easy to fix. Weird stuff shows up too, like Debbie, some custom rig nobody's got details on, or the Outrider support vehicle, probably patched together from whatever they could salvage. It's all about making do. Let's talk leaders, because pirates don't last without someone crazy or ruthless enough to keep them in line. Paula, Lady Death, Trevaline's a titan. She ruled the Tortuga dominions from 3015 to 3042, and her raids on the Federated Suns and Taurian Concordat where legendary merchants would rather ditch their cargo than face her. She's tied to Vengeance Incorporated, getting brigands built for her Tortuga Fusiliers, and her fingerprints are all over that mech's design, especially that light rear armor to force her pilots to fight. The Dominions have a long history, starting with Major Frederick Koloniv in 2589, who sets up Tortuga Prime as a pirate hub. Then you've got Duke Mitch Hibbert taking over in 2604. Followed by Lord Calvin Bardinus, who rules until 3015 when Trevaline steps in. After her, it's Major Twyla, the Major Sumrul in the 3050s, she's a tough one, keeps things rolling. Then the word of Blake's presenter William Darrer takes a turn during the Jihad, followed by King Ravanian and Kevin Langstrom in 3080, Duke Ian Shank Scully from 3127 to 3130, and up to King Alastar Firebeard today. It's a parade of despots, each adding their own flavor to the mix. Vance Rezak's another giant. He starts as a Draconis Combine noble and officer in the mustard soldiery fancy stuff, but gets injured in the 3040s during a campaign. The Combine betrays him, leaves him for dead, and he's stranded until he hooks up with the Band of the Damned in 3049. He's pissed, declares war on the Combine, and turns this ragtag crew into a powerhouse. By the 3050s, he's the richest pirate in the Periphery, with Rezak's Hole as his secret base, a hidden fortress nobody can find unless he wants them to. He's got a spy network stretching across the inner sphere and Periphery, feeding him intel, and builds a combined arms regiment, mechs, vehicles, infantry, even captured omni-mechs from clan raids. In the 3060s, he cuts a deal with the word of Blake for tech and support, probably how he got that Buccaneer tricked out. But Clan Snow Raven catches up to him in 3064, hits Rezak's Hole hard, and he dies in 3067 fighting to the end. That Red Raider dropship was his crown jewel, proof he wasn't just some thug, but a king in his own right. The Cercinus Federation's all about the McIntyre family, a pirate dynasty. C.J. McIntyre kicks it off in 2990, colonizing worlds near the Lyran border, turning a backwater into a raiding hub. His son, H.R. Little Bob McIntyre, takes over in 3032 and by 3066 has it locked down as a dictatorship, no more pretending it's a democracy. Calvin McIntyre runs it through the Jihad. 3066 to 3081, and they've got a real government, a central council with the president, planetary governors, and the Black Warriors commander meeting monthly to keep things tight. They're producing stuff like the Firestarter FS9-P, running raids, even playing politics with the inner sphere. But the Jihad ends them. Regulan forces roll in 3081, burn the capital to ash, and that's it after nearly a century. Still, they left a mark, proof pirates can build something lasting. Lysandra Nabasis is a newer face. He takes over the Tortugan phalanx after his dad, Naximander Anabasis, dies under mysterious circumstances. Nobody's sure if it was an accident, betrayal, or something else. He's not the tactical genius his dad was, but he's got numbers on his side, overwhelms targets with sheer force. In 3083, he leads a raid on Lackland with an LDT-5 Brigand, 111 km/h, mace in hand, 7 jump jets, and grabs armor, ammo, and electronics before the defenders can even scramble a response. He's a blunt instrument, but it works. There's smaller players too. Morgan Fletcher's a name tied to the Belt Pirates, maybe a leader, maybe an ace pilot, but the records are fuzzy. Could have been one of those early figures keeping them alive in the Belt's post-Reunification War. The 237th Light Cavalry Regiment's another Star League roots, probably deserters who went rogue after the fall, turning their training into a pirate gig. Pacification squads pop up too, could be enforcers for a kingdom like Tortuga or Cercinus, or just independent hitters cleaning up messes. It's a sprawling, messy network of crews, each with their own story. So why do pirates keep going? It's all about adaptation, turning chaos into opportunity. The Star League's fall in 2781 gives them the space to grow, a whole periphery to run wild in. The clan invasion in 3049 wipes out some like the Oberon Confederation, but others, like Vance Rezak, find ways to profit, scavenging clan tech or hitting distracted targets. The Jihad from 3067 to 3081 is a disaster for everyone. Cercinus burns, Tortuga gets hit, but new kingdoms rise in the ashes, like the Rim territories or the Barons. They face big threats. Clan Snow Raven guts Rezak in 3064, Regulans crush Cercinus in 3081, internal betrayals take out leaders like Naximander and Anabasis, but they're like weeds. You can't kill them off, they turn desperation into strength. A busted mech becomes a brigand, stolen parts, pirate ingenuity, and suddenly it's a raider's dream. A civilian transport turns into the S7-P Scarabée trap nobody sees coming. They don't need factories or supply lines, they've got grit and a knack for making do. The periphery's their perfect hideout, vast, lawless, full of rocks and ruins to duck into. They're not noble warriors or grand villains, just survivors who've made chaos their trade, and they've been doing it for over 500 years. That's the full story of BattleTech pirates. They're raiders, inventors, tyrants, and ghosts all rolled into one. Could you cut it as a pirate out there in the periphery? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I want to hear what you think. And let me know what BattleTech lore you want me to tackle next. Clans, great houses, whatever's on your mind. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe. I've got more BattleTech goodness coming your way. See you in the next one.